How's it, guys? This is Davey FPL and welcome back to the Deadline with Davey live stream. This live stream is going to revolve around Blank GW32. I won't lie to you guys, it's probably going to revolve around the free chip quite a bit. But if you guys do have any questions as a non-free user, feel free to drop them in chat. But as I've mentioned, I'll be going through the best players, in my opinion, for the upcoming game week. And that might be relevant to you guys on the free especially. For those of you not on the free, you can also kind of plan maybe your free transfers, your hits around those certain selections. So as always, let me know if the audio and the video are sounding good, and then we can head on to the live stream and talk about my latest free draft. Also, let me know about the background music. Always forget what volume setting I do have it at, so if you guys can let me know how the background music is sounding, if it's too loud, too soft, I can amp it up, I can drop it down, as you guys do please. So I'm going to get the chat on the main monitor. I haven't seen anyone say that the audio and video sounds good, so I'm going to assume that I might not even be live. I think I am though. Let's go. So messages are coming through now. Ankit saying the goat is back. I do appreciate that. It's chill sounding. Okay, audio all good, says Andy G. Do appreciate that one. Sup bro, says Will. Ole says it's perfect. Thanks, Larnell as well. Shafwan, Shamir also, thank you guys. So I'm going to assume that we are looking good. Don't worry about the team at the current moment. I'm going to be actually changing my current team live with you guys. This is my team that I used for price changes. There have been a lot of price changes. I actually haven't even caught all of them. There was a couple of players that rose last night. I'm forgetting, I think it was Gakpo that rose last night. I didn't have him on my team, but don't worry. I think we have about 5 million left in the bank with the latest draft. So you guys should be fine with the bank, but if you're not, we can make some heavy downgrades, although I'm not too sure about who I'm going to downgrade if you guys can't afford 5 million in the bank. Mr. Someone saying, miss you, Davey, miss you too, brother. Hopefully you're doing well. And now that we are live, you don't have to miss me anymore because I'm here. In terms of the poll, I put up a poll earlier. It says, are you free hitting? We have 84% of you saying yes and 16% saying no. So that's a pretty respectable amount of you in chat. That's just pumped up to 85% now. I will be posting polls though throughout the live stream. So if you guys do want to get your votes in, although I think it's a safe assumption to say that most people will be using the free hit. But as I mentioned, for you 16% that aren't on the chip, you guys can still ask me questions and I'll answer them as well as I can. I'll try to relate them to myself if I wasn't using the free hit chip this week. Are you really captaining Solanke or Tyler? No, I'm not. I'm also not starting Jackie Grealish in midfield. I simply just had this team because of the price rises. Jack Grealish is actually an interesting one because if you guys followed along, I mentioned this in the legend chat, but Jack Grealish actually rose straight after game week 31, just because all the casuals are bringing him in because he did quite well in game week 31 and the prior game weeks. So because he had a price rise early on the week, I was hoping that he got another price rise and then we just pocket the 0.1 and use it somewhere else. But as I've said, we've got so much money in the bank that it's absolutely fine. Chris Faz saying, what's up, Davey? Hope you're good, man. Looking forward to seeing the final team. I'm looking forward to showing you guys the final team, and I'm doing well. Hopefully you're doing well as well, Chris. Been a work week as normal. Friday night deadlines aren't the usual, but I always enjoy them. The Friday night streams are a little bit more casual. We don't always have as many people joining them, but it's always a good crowd. So if you guys are having a good time, and hopefully I'm not kind of preventing you from going out. So if you guys have to go out, I would just lock in your free team and go do what you have to do this Friday evening. But I will add that we might potentially be getting early Arsenal team news, which I'm really hoping for, because obviously Arsenal versus Southampton's in the first game coming up in just under an hour and a half. Well, not an hour and a half, actually. It's 2 hours and a half, I think, or 2 hours. So if you guys are going to be watching that game, hopefully it's going to be a good one. And whoever we pick in our current free draft is going to be scoring the goals. Why Mings over Alex Moreno? So Ryan, okay, I'm gonna change my team currently because people are asking me questions about the starting 11. Don't worry, guys, this isn't my team. I'm gonna go over to the transfer page and we'll be actually doing the team throughout the live stream. I think you guys should be able to see that. You can just see the money at the top of the screen there. So don't worry though, this isn't my current team. I'm not gonna be going for Edison and that sort of stuff. Actually, if I remove the players, okay, so let's build this team from scratch. I'm going to remove everyone, but we will be adding some players as I talk over them. So luckily you guys joined the stream quite early because this might be the best insight you get over the entire live stream. You can build your own free draft with me, maybe change a few players if you don't like my depictions of them, but we'll be building my free draft right now and going through kind of my selections that I'm currently got my eye on. So let's start off with our goalkeeper. It's going to be none other than Johnston from Crystal Palace. What I'm going to do now is apparently Guaita was pictured in training. I know the FPL website says calf injury expected back the 29th, but apparently he was training, so I'm going to add him as my second goalkeeper just in case. I know some people have been saying, I think it's Woolworth. He's the other... Whitworth, sorry, my bad. Whitworth is the current third Crystal Palace goalkeeper, but I'm going to be going for Guaita. If Guaita's not fit, I'm just hoping that Johnston's fit, and then we can go on to that. Maybe if we get some more news, maybe some press conference comments come out a little bit later on, but as far as I'm concerned, Johnston should be your main goalkeeper. I'll just put Guaita there as a little bit of safety. So I'm going to add Trent back currently because I do think he's going to be in my team probably for this upcoming free hit, and I'm going to also add Trippier back because I do favor Newcastle more than Spurs, and I think that because of that attacking threat that Trippier does offer, there could be a haul in this one. I think the ceiling for Trippier is quite high, but if you guys don't want to go for Trippier, I can understand it. They are after all facing Spurs, a side that can score a few goals if Harry Kane's on form, if they're looking pretty strong. So I do understand if you guys don't want to go for Trippier, but currently I do have him in my squad. So I'm going to leave it at that for now. I think what I will do at the current moment is I'm going to add Alex Moreno back, and what I'm going to add is I'm going to add Castagne because there's a recent piece of news that came out. Sam Martin, if you guys don't follow him, he's a Leicester kind of in the know. Doesn't always get early team news, but he is obviously not really affiliated with the club, but it's a team he supports, and I think he's quite knowledgeable about them. And he mentioned that Castagne might play at that wing back position in a back five. So I've put him in here because in terms of the rest of my defense, Alex Moreno and Castagne have nice ceilings. Their flaws, I don't know about their flaws this game week. I can't see a clean sheet ready for both of them, but if they do keep a clean sheet and an attacking return, that's why that ceiling is so high. So these are going to be my two probably bench options, but I could always field one of them in my starting 11. I'll talk about that decision a little bit later on. So now going on to our midfield department, I'm going to bring Saka and Martinelli back into my squad. I know Saka over the past two hasn't looked that great, but I still like him as an FPL asset, and I'm going to back him in this game. The only thing that will make me take Saka out is if we do get some early team news, but it'll have to be very validated because I think Saka out is the almost rumored kind of substitution or rotation player this game week because of his poor form. Why I'm saying that is that if someone came out and told me that Saka's benched for Trossard, I wouldn't necessarily tell you that that's going to be absolutely false because he is not the best form at the moment, and I could see Trossard filtering in. So let's wait for some early team news. If we do get it, then maybe Saka could be on the way out, but Martinelli is definitely the option I would have in your kind of Arsenal midfield. Then in terms of other rotation, let's go for Salah because he's going to be our captain this game week. If you go no Salah or no Mo Salah, it's going to be quite hectic this game week. So I'm putting him in my squad, and I think I'm fine with that. So currently, maybe I won't talk about that. We'll talk about the rotation pairs potentially now. I'm going to just put Andreas Pereira as a cheap option, but what I might do is I might upgrade him if we do have money in the bank, which we probably will. I think maybe I would go for an Eze in this slot just because he's a better maybe option. In terms of who I would start, I'd probably start Eze over Andreas Pereira. I know that Andreas is a great selection this week. I just really favor Eze at the moment. But we'll keep him quiet for now. So I'm going to add Watkins and I'm going to add Solanke because I do think I will probably field these two in my starting 11. Solanke is an interesting one because I could go for a Harry Kane, but I just think at the current moment Solanke looks to be in great form, and I know West Ham had a really strong performance last night that could give them some confidence, but I think Bournemouth, they might concede, but I think they might score as well. So that's why Solanke is there as a nice cheap option. If you guys do want to upgrade him to whoever you want, you can. I just think that at his price point, don't be too fooled by his points because he has done well in the previous game weeks. So now we come to the part where don't think that this is my starting 11 because I think Andreas will be on my bench. Now we're going to go over the rotation pairings. So the first option I could go for is I could bring in Van Dijk or Robertson. That could be my Liverpool triple up. Then I'm left with an opening in my front department. That would be Jesus then. So if I was to go for a Liverpool defender, I could go for Jesus as I'm then locking in that kind of midfield differential. But let's just say I don't go with Van Dijk. I could go for Gakpo in the midfield department and I could still go for Jesus up front. Then this kind of begs the question of who's the third defender. It could be Castagne, it could be Alex Moreno. I've seen Fabian Schär is also a popular kind of third option in that defensive department. I don't like him too much. I wouldn't kind of double up maybe on that Newcastle defense. I might hedge my bets on going for Moreno or Castagne. So if I do go for Gakpo and Jesus, it would be Castagne or Alex Moreno, either of them. Another point to add about Alex Moreno is that if you guys don't have Ivan Toney, you could play the odds there. You could hope that Ivan Toney blanks and Alex Moreno does keep the clean sheet, or you could be a bit safe, and I do think the Wolves fixture is slightly easier for Castagne versus the Brentford one for Aston Villa. So if I do go for this kind of pairing, that's 100% fine, but what I'm currently on is dropping Jesus, not dropping in terms of just kind of the player, I'm dropping in terms of price point. I'm going for Ivan Toney, and then I'm going for Gabriel. Now, Gabriel could be Ben White. I think either of them have the potential for points, but you guys can see 5.1 million in the bank left here, and this is my current draft that I think you would have seen in the team selection. So if you guys did watch the video, yes, the bench options have changed around here a bit, but in terms of the overall team selection, it stayed the same. It's going to be Gabriel, Trent, Trippier, Saka, Martinelli, Salah, Gakpo, and it's going to be Toney, Watkins, and Solanke up top. So Solanke, you could upgrade him to whoever you want, but if I'm not going for Harry Kane, I don't know who else I would go for. But this is my current team selection, but I won't lie to you. If we do get news that Jesus starts, I might be tempted to go for him over Ivan Toney, and then going for Castagne or Alex Moreno in my defensive department. I think right now I've edged towards going for the Liverpool double up in attack, and that's not going to be for Jota, it's going to be for Gakpo. But I mean, if we do get maybe some, as I said, maybe some comments from the press conference, or some early teamers that I doubt we'll get on a Friday evening if they're kicking off tomorrow afternoon, then we might rotate it. But currently this is going to be my team, and what I'm going to do is, because we have so much money left in the bank, I'm going to make the transfers now, just so we don't get any questions in the future about the moves. So I'm going to confirm the transfers. I'm going to go over to pick my team. It's going to be Trent in for Castagne. It's going to be Martinelli in for Andreas. And what we probably will do is we'll put Castagne second on our bench, and we'll lock in the Campsy on Mo Salah. I don't know who the vice captain will be on. Let's maybe put on Martinelli. I like him as an option, and that'll be the current draft. So a little bit different. I think that it might be slightly, I don't think it's the template. I think the template right now is going for Jesus up front, but I think that it's differential enough for me that I like it. I don't think it's super differential from the current template, but I think it's different enough from the current template to be a little bit weirder. Okay, so now I can go back to the chat. So now you guys can ask questions, because I've missed quite a few. But if you want to remind me about what your question is, you guys can always do that. Sorry, I did miss chat. So I'm going to go back. Pedro, how's it going, brother? Hopefully you're doing well. John says, best differential defender, excluding Trent and Trippier. I mean, the Arsenal defenders are differential. I think that they're not picked by so many options. But I would say probably going for Castagne or Alex Moreno. I think those two are probably the more interesting ones. Chris Fuzz saying, 300 people watching, but only 7 likes. Come on, people. Is that true? Okay, no, we've got a few more likes than 7 likes, but the ratio's not looking that great. But as I always say, if you guys want to help me out with the algorithm, it's a live stream at the end of the day. Probably not many people are going to be watching it in the future, but if you want to help me out, you can always like the stream if you are enjoying it. Unfortunately, if you're disliking the stream, there's no dislike button anymore, so I do apologize for that one, but hopefully you are enjoying it. Okay, Abalash saying I have Henry, Trippier, Botman, Salah, Martinelli, Andreas, Watkins, and Kane playing. Planning not to free out and do Chilwell, Haaland to Trent, Jesus as a 1 in punt. That's fine, Abalash. That's 100% fine. I'd also plan not to use the free. You seem like you have most of the big hitters. That's the biggest advice I'd give you guys if you are contemplating using the free. Is it's not about quantity, it's about quality this week. So even if you do own 11 options, if they're all going to have bad fixtures, then I would consider using the free anyways. But if you guys have like a Salah, a Trent, you have a Saka, Martinelli, those sort of assets, I think it's fine to keep the free and just roll with those assets. So Abalash, I'm on your end there. I would say probably go for it. Afternoon, Odegaard or Bowen captain, no free played. I'd probably go safe and go Odegaard. To me, it's 2 fixtures. It's going for Liverpool, it's going for Arsenal this week, and that's why I've tripled up on both those teams. Those are definitely the fixtures that I would target. So that's the thing. I'm not super keen on Saka. Do you think he'll bang? AJ, it's tough to say. Let's just say I wouldn't be surprised if he did bang or if he was benched. That's just the form that Saka's in at the current moment. He's not looking great. So if you guys do want to go for an Odegaard, I could understand it. But I just think on a 1 week punch, you always go, listen, there's going to be variance in a 1 week punch. So Saka or Odegaard could do well. It's just kind of predicting which one will do better. And I think there's more kind of pockets of Saka like penalties and that sort of thing that are in his court at the current moment. But that's why Jesus is a safe punt, because if Arsenal score a goal as their striker, he's probably going to be involved. Well, we have Ankit Kumar coming in with 5 gifted memberships. Thank you, Ankit. I always do appreciate you, brother. You always are donating memberships to our community here. So do always appreciate it, Ankit. Hopefully you have a massive Game Week 32 on the back of that. And as always, I say thanks for that, brother. So in terms of the memberships, you have Genghis, we have Nathan, we have Marco, we have Nuno Carvalho, and we have Kurt. So you guys can say a nice thanks to Ankit, and you guys can drop a heart in chat if you want to get the stream having a bit of love for our friend Ankit in chat. Thank you. I do always appreciate it. And that's always a sign. Usually when Ankit donates, we have a good game week. So let's hope this is going to be a great game week. Why no Fabianski? I just favor Johnson and the Crystal Palace defense over the West Ham one. And if you look, I do have Dom Solanke, so I'm expecting Bournemouth to hopefully score. Jesus is in form. Why go against them? So it's basically the combination. I'll drop it in chat now. So let's end this poll for now. I'll put it in chat. I'm pretty set. So this is kind of the backing of it. I'm pretty set on going for Gakpo in the defensive department. So that's why I'm set on my third defender versus my third attacker. So let's go for, okay, I'll go for which combination do you guys favor? It's going to be Tony or Castagne or Jesus. No, actually no, it's Tony and Gabriel. And then it's Jesus / Castagne. So which combination? I'll let you guys vote on that in chat. Why we once again thanks Ankit for his love and support. I do always appreciate it, brother. And then you guys can vote on this poll. I've posted it in chat, and then we can get on to the rest of the questions. Saw Harry say Guito's back. Maybe he's trolling. I mean, I think it was just like a training picture. I don't think it's too much in that, but I think we have the money to go for Guito, but we could also go for Woodworth. I'll just kind of check Twitter again to see what the majority of people are saying. What about Isaac instead of Solanke? I really like the idea of starting Isaac. So the only thing I worry about Isaac is I think that he should start, but there's always that threat of Wilson in the back line, and I just worry that there might be some rotation there. Daryl Spencer, why not take Ben White versus Gabriel? So yes, it's a very interesting debate to go for. As I've mentioned, Ben White has been getting forward a bunch, and that's why I think that he's quite a popular selection as an alternative to Gabriel within Arsenal. It's between Gabriel and Ben White for me in terms of Arsenal. I think that Ben White has had slightly better stats. I just feel like Gabriel is always going to be involved there off the set pieces, and I don't know, I just have a feeling maybe Gabriel gets a header or something like that. But I won't lie to you, it is tempting kind of going for Ben White, Gabriel, but I would say it's kind of a 50-50. Just like currently the poll is. The poll is a 50-50, so I'd appreciate you guys voting on what you think is the best combination, because it is 50-50 at the current moment, which isn't going to do us too much damage. Why not Jota? So Harsh, the reason I didn't go for Jota is I do think there's better replacements in the forward department. I do think that Jota should start the game, but I just favor Gakpo in terms of minutes, and as I've mentioned, I just favor the forwards to the midfielder replacements at the current moment. But Jota's a fine option to go for if you want to go for him. What about Son for Gakpo? I think because I'm not going for Kane, I'm hoping that Newcastle keep a clean sheet, and that's why I think that I would rather go for that Nottingham Forest home fixture. And Spurs are just worrying me a bit with their current form. Genghis says, Ankit the GOAT, appreciated, man. So thanks for saying thanks to Genghis, I guess. I'm going Isaac over Tony Holy Butter. I've seen him be quite popular with the projected points, and I've seen him in actually quite a few free drafts, so I understand that move. What I'm just hoping for is, as I mentioned, the team selection, that both kind of Aston Villa and Brentford are safe, and therefore I hope that they kind of go for it. There's a lot of goals in this one. I hope it's the game of attackers. Watkins and Tony get us some points. Will Luis Diaz be fit to start in the starting 11? No, Mohamed, he won't be. I think he'll come off the bench a little bit later on. Probably for someone like a Gakpo or a Jota, that sort of thing. It's all kind of up to debate about how many minutes he'll get. But definitely not kind of fit to start. Klopp said Darwin will start and he could rest some players. So Harsh, I do get that. But as I always want to say, in terms of a press conference, just picture yourself being Jurgen Klopp. Would you go out and say that Darwin Núñez isn't going to play in the future games? No, you're going to say that he's going to play. Just because no manager is going to kind of down one of their options, especially when you need kind of some rotation in the forward lines over this tough period. So I get what people are saying. I just favor Gakpo to start and Jota to start. and Darwin to come off the bench. I'm not saying that Darwin's not a great asset. He could definitely start because who kind of knows what Klopp's thinking, but I just feel like we might be going for the same games. Siddharth became a legend for 13 months. So we've had the 1 year anniversary, but the honeymoon period isn't over yet. We're going for the 13 months. Thanks to Darth for becoming a legend for 13 months. Late to the stream. Never apologize for being late as long as you're here, brother. And 100 point coming up. Let go. Hopefully it's 100 point club. What I do hope though is that the differential players in our team get us to that 100 points, because if every free hit scores 100 points, I'll be happy, but then we're not going to rise up the ranks too much. So can we rise 50k places within a week? I don't think so, but we might. James Kant says, after Jurgen Klopp's comments about pressing do you think Jota's chances of starting are improved? I think Jota's chance of starting have improved. I do think that's going to be the front three. I just think with the Firmino injury, that if Jota does get subbed or Darwin comes on, maybe Darwin comes on for Jota instead of Gakpo. That's what I'm hoping for because of the Firmino injury. But at the end of the day, anything could happen. Gakpo could be rested. Salah could be rested. Jota could be rested. Firmino could be rested. Actually, no, if not, Firmino's injured. Darwin could be rested. We don't really know. Iverson versus Guaita, they're your second goalkeepers, so I can't really see too much in there, Daryl, but you go for either of them. Marco, good luck, Davey. Marco, you've had some good luck there becoming a member, so thank you for passing on that good luck to myself. Rafa Reza, what's up, Davey? Team locked, waiting for the Gunners news. Always waiting for the Gunners news, but I'm hoping that maybe we could potentially get something that gives us some insight, but my expectation is we're going to be getting news that Jesus starts, that Martelli starts, that Saka starts, that Gabriel starts, that Ben White starts. Probably the same team that played last week is going to be the team that starts this week. Much love from Cape Town, Davey. Thanks, Finners. I do appreciate it. Always nice to have some South Africans in chat. Slamming says, happy Friday, buddy. Castagna or Moreno? Currently, because of the news that maybe Castagna is a back five wing back, I would probably say Castagna, but that's just the fact that I think that Brentford are better attacked than Wolves are. But Aston Villa have improved from a defensive point of view, but I think I would still side towards Castagna. And that's why if you do check my side, I've got Castagna over Moreno on my bench. Thoughts on Billing over Solanke? That's fine if you want to go for a punt, but I might suggest some other punts, a Kush, maybe an Eze, maybe a Madison, that sort of thing. But if you really wanted a slice of that Bournemouth pie, then you can go for Billing. But Solanke is definitely my current selection of best. Davey, you legend, Ellie electricity outages, so Vincent currently not, but I did have Wi-Fi or fiber outages on Monday, but luckily it came on just as I wanted to record my Monday night videos, so I was super happy about that. But luckily we have invested in solar at my house, so no electricity outages at the current moment because of that solar power. No Jesus, bro. Yeah, currently no Jesus, but I'm a little bit worried about that. Sorry for joining late. Is this our free team? So to run currently, yes it is, but it could always change. So going back to the kind of vote, you guys are very closely siding towards Jesus and Castagna, which I won't lie to you, if we do get news that Jesus starts, I think I might be siding towards that as well. But what I might also do is add the Castagna versus Alex Moreno debate. What kind of chance do you guys prefer there? Yo Davey, no choco milk. Again, no, unfortunately not. I had a pretty stacked day today, so couldn't pop out to the shop, so we're just going to stick with water for now. But Hamad, the water is still good, the water is still pure, the water is still good luck. That's what I'm kind of backing. Arsenal captain being massively overlooked. I think it is being overlooked, Jamie. I would say that probably Arsenal, the slump of their current results is probably the reason why most people aren't going for it. And the fact that it's the early captain. You know what Gundy says, never back the early captain. Let's Ollie Watkins on game week 31. That's what I'll say. So that's not always the fact. The quote isn't always true. But yeah, I do think Liverpool, I trust them. I trust Arsenal maybe more than Liverpool, but it's Mo Salah at the end of the day. And yes, people are getting hyped. And what I will advise you guys as a Liverpool fan, after we beat Man United 7-0, we lost to Bournemouth 1-0. Is that going to happen this weekend? Hopefully not. The thing I'm going off is that it is at Anfield, and that's what I'm kind of doing, hoping that it's a good result. Akash saying I've got Eze as well. Thanks, David. Let's have a bang of a game week. So yeah, Akash, 100%. I go back to your previous question, and I say that that's a fine option to go for since you do have Eze. It seems like quite a differential free hit or actual team. Rafa is saying Jinx on the early kickoff. No, yeah. Will Jesus start? Will you transfer him in? I probably will. I might do that. I might potentially do that move if we do get early team news, but yeah. Castagna versus Moreno. Luke, good question. So my current thinking about this selection is I favor Castagna slightly more than Moreno, but what I will add is please be careful about Castagne because he might not actually start at wing back. I think that he should start overall if it is a back 4 or a back 5, but he might potentially start at a back 4. But there has been a little bit of kind of suggestion that Leicester might play a back 5 now that Harvey Barnes is out injured. So because of Harvey Barnes' injury, we might have a back 5 from Leicester. That obviously means Castagne is a wing back, much more of an attacking position at wing back versus fullback, and that's why I do think the chance of a clean sheet and the chance of an attacking return therefore are better for Castagne because of a back 5 system and being in a wing back position. Whereas with Alex Moreno, he's a fine selection to go for, but I just worry about that clean sheet. Brentford usually do score at home, and that's why I'm concerned about that. But I mean, it's at the end of the day, it's your decision to go for. Moreno's more nailed, but I think the chance of a clean sheet is slightly less. That's why I do back Castagne slightly more. Solanke nailed, yes. As long as he doesn't get injured, as far as I'm concerned, he might be one of the most nailed options out of any team. So you don't have to worry about that. Tony going to blank, yes, he could at the end of the day, but I guess any players can. Not taking Saka out, Davey, considering his form, no. Terang, I think there might be an added element of me being a little bit scared about his effective ownership, because if you don't have a free hit, you probably do own Saka. So it's a little bit of a safe pick there. But yeah, if you don't want to go for Saka and want to go for Odegaard or go for Jesus instead of him, I can back it. Like, I'm not going to kind of disagree with you. Why don't you have Eze instead of Andreas? So R&R, I'm just waiting for the early team news if we do get it. Otherwise, I will upgrade Andreas to Eze. That's what I'll definitely go for. I'm just kind of going for a cheap bench at the moment. But if we do get no early team news, I will upgrade my bench to better selections. Let's just say that. You don't fancy Moreno? I do fancy him, but I just fancy other options more, you know. It's not that I think they're bad assets. It's like saying that I don't think Jota's a bad asset. It's just that in terms of my overall team structure, I've chosen to go without Jota because I think it's more optimal in other selections for my Liverpool assets. That's the only reason. Any early team Uzama, let me go check for you. But we might need someone on Andy Let's Talk FPL stream, because he usually gets the early team use. So I won't hold it against you if one or two of you do leave there as kind of scouts or spies to bring us that early team use if he does get it. So yeah, that's what I'll say. Careful of website crashing again. Yes, so what I would do is do what I've just done. You guys can see that my team is locked in. I'm on the pick team and I don't have the save team icon. So lock a team in at the current moment. If we get early team use, we can act on it. But just make sure that your free is activated and you guys have a team locked in case the website does crash. As Devin Little, I couldn't have summed it up better myself. So many calls this week are 50-50s. It's just one of those weeks, unfortunately. Ole Hagen became a member. Thank you for becoming a member. I do always appreciate it, Ollie, so thank you. Rafa is saying, going to Let's Talk. Thank you. Just bring us that early team news. Hopefully we do get it. Let me just check. So no early team news as far as I can see, but as far as I know, it probably will come out with about 15 minutes to go. So let's just see how it kind of plays out. Otherwise, we are looking at a few people's freer teams. So yeah, I don't see any early team news, but I will obviously always update you guys if I do get anything. Because I don't see anything at the moment. So yeah, but we'll keep you updated as we go along the stream. But we are on the 30-minute mark, so I think we should maybe get early team news 15 minutes to 10 minutes before, and then I'll always try and update you guys if we do get anything. 352 with Madison over Solanke. That's a fine option, Saint. Like there's a whole bunch of options this week. If you guys are going to go for Andreas, even in your starting 11, Eze, that's fine. Elise is fine. Madison's fine. Benching Solanke is also okay. If you guys want to go for Odegaard over Saka, I can understand that. Jesus is a great shout. Going for Robertson or Van Dijk in defense, that's also good. Castagne, Moreno in the starting 11, that's also fine. Jota's a punt. I don't mind. I wouldn't say Wouldn't put you guys off that one too much, but I might suggest that maybe Robertson, Van Dijk, Gakpo might be more secured. But there's so many options this week. Even going without Trippier is fine. I would say there's only a few plays that I would suggest going for. It's Alexander-Arnold, it's Salah, it's Martinelli, and it's probably Ollie Watkins. Those are probably the only 4 I would say that you guys have to get in. And then I would definitely, though, have a triple up on Arsenal and a triple up on Liverpool. And the rest is up to interpretation. You guys can go super maverick if you want to do it. I'm going Fabianski in goal. West Ham in good form. They will beat Bournemouth. I think it's good form from last night, but in the Premier, they haven't been that sensational. But I mean, it's each up to their own. I know that West Ham stats defensively haven't been that bad. They have appeared like over the entire season as one of the top 6 defenses, but over the past couple of game weeks, they've looked pretty bad. So that's just my take on it, and I think that Bournemouth have looked good from an attacking point of view. That's the only reason why I've gone for this pick. I think Solanke has proved that he has good stats and is performing on the pitch, and that's why I've looked at it. CS predictions, clean sheet predictions look pretty good for Arsenal and Liverpool. And kid, that's why I'm like, the stats look so strong for an Arsenal and Liverpool clean sheet that I definitely want to get a slice of that defensive clean sheet. So that's why Gabriel's a sensible pick for me. And that's why I think if you have to compare Gabriel and Tony, let's just say Gabriel scores and Tony does as well. I think that Jesus, maybe Tony could match Jesus. Maybe Gabriel could outscore Castagne or Moreno if they concede. It's super close in terms of that debate, but I do think I favor the reason why I want Jesus is from an attacking point of view. He's the best Arsenal attacker to get, and that's why I think he's almost essential if he is going to play the majority of minutes. I just worry that he does get subbed off 60 minutes, but maybe the game's wrapped up by then. You never know. So that's what my current thinking is, and that's why if you do get news that probably Jesus starts, I might just side with going with him. Is it worth free hitting if I have 8 players and can do a -8 for the full team? So Dexter, I'll say this again, if you guys are considering or contemplating using the free hit, it's not about quantity this week, it's about quality. So within that 8 players, if you have Salah, you have Saka, Martinelli, you have Trent, you have some other assets, a punt, 1 or 2 of punts, then I would probably keep the free hit. Yes, you can take a -4, -8 to get your full starting 11 if you think it's worth it. But what I would say is just make sure it's worth it in terms of double game week 34, double game week 36, double game week 37. That's what I will say. Then hits are fine. Just make sure that you use the free hit then in a sensible game week though. Chocolate milk on me after the deadline. Why Guita, by the way? It's just because apparently he's back in training, but I mean, we could go for Whitworth. I'll probably upgrade this position if we have money in the bank anyways, as I think that Johnston should be pretty secured. Johnston or Iverson? Definitely Johnston over Iverson. That's what I'll say. Hi mate, does tinkering count as transfers made on the free hit? No, Breen, it doesn't. Is it Breen or Brian? Apologies if I'm pronouncing that wrong, but if you're talking about the transfers that account for if it's neck and neck between you and someone for an overall rank, I don't think it adjusts for that. So you don't have to worry. You can make as many transfers as you want to. I think that's similar on a free hit. Jacobus, how's it up at 5 a.m. in New Zealand to finalize my team? Dedication or what? What can I say? That's a massive kind of dedication there. Just a question. I don't know if you were the member that was from SA that moved to New Zealand. I know there was someone that moved to the Netherlands and someone that moved to Australia, but I think you were the one from South Africa that moved to New Zealand. So that must have been quite a switch up for the FPL play. Because when I was in Australia, like it was quite hectic. I was just lucky that we had a break from FPL at that stage. Rumor said Xhaka not playing. Is it true in Zinni will play? Okay, I haven't seen a rumor. I can go check for you, but I mean, maybe if Xhaka's out, then I might consider the Newcastle, the Arsenal defense slightly more. But let me go and check some early team news. Nothing as of yet. I don't see any other kind of selections. So that rumor hasn't been from confirmed sources, but it might still be a true rumor. Okay, I see what you're saying here. No Xhaka. Okay, but that's a rumor purely. I haven't got any kind of official news about Xhaka, but as I've said, I will update you guys if we do get anything. But currently nothing. The only thing is a slight rumor. I'll call it a slight rumor. I do apologize if it's one of you in chat, but probably not. But there's a slight rumor that Xhaka is not going to be playing. If you are an Arsenal fan, how does that impact you? Does it impact you more from a defensive point of view or more from an attacking point of view? Because I would say probably both sides of the ball. But yeah, that's just the rumor, as I said. Okay, so Andy just said, but he said, you'll wait. Thank you, Raf and Rez, as always, for having the dual stream on. Do always appreciate that. Thoughts about Eze? I do like him, Yash. I think he's a great selection. If I was to go for someone other than Gakpo, I would go for probably Eze or Maddison, but probably Eze over Maddison. So I do like him. I think if you guys have a free midfielder slot open, he would be a good selection. Him or Elise, it's super close. I just prefer Eze slightly. I don't know why, it's the feeling. But both are ballers. We need opinions from Gunners fans now. So if you are, okay, so James is saying Xhaka is more of an attacker these days. Okay, so is that better or worse for the attack? Just give your honest opinion. If it's wrong, it's fine. But I don't have any like context about the Xhaka benching if it is true. Thoughts on Trent captain? A little bit too risky for me because Liverpool aren't the most defensively assured side. So I would say if you want to go differential, go Arsenal. That's what I would say. Bowen or Maddison? Thanks, bud. I think I like Bowen and Maddison. I think that Maddison's slightly more just because I can just see if Leicester score, it's probably going to be Maddison involved. Whereas with West Ham, we've had a few different selections up front for them. So it's super close though between them. But Maddison for me, Finton might be slightly edging it. Holy Butter saying helps them both attack. Yeah, that would be my initial interpretation. But yeah, I don't think it affects the fact that I want to go for 3 Arsenal assets, but it might sway me to go away from the Arsenal defense because that might make them slightly less or slightly more vulnerable. Vincent said, Vincent, I've read your question out like 3 times, brother. So thank you for posting it again. Isaac or Tony, Brew Devon, I've gone for Tony. So that's who I'm currently leaning towards. Just more of a talisman. I like Isaac, but I just always worry about Callum Wilson in the background. My team is in shambles, says Ollie. No Friet and only 7 players active for the coming week. I want to plan something for double gaming. Template team, but don't know. Ollie, post your team in the comment. Post your team and I'll try and help you out there. Thank you for becoming a member of the stream. Thanks, Finton. I do appreciate it. Super 50-50 call though on your side, so I can see either side working. Hopefully there's not too much difference between them, and they're both bang at the end of the day. Tony over Solanke, Villa looking pretty solid. I think both of those selections are fine. I would say that I picked Solanke before I picked Tony, if that means anything to you. So yeah. Siddharth says Xhaka not starting, pretty sure. Okay, I'll refresh Twitter again to just check. Okay, I don't see anything. Let me check this thread. Okay, I see nothing still, but I mean, if we do get something earlier, then we can just adjust it. News source, it was it was Prek Brown 95. I've never really seen that account before. But he does have a picture of Martinelli signing some stuff. So and apparently Zinchenko arrived with the squad, but that's all. That's all we have. Not the most secure team news though. That's what I will add though. So just keep your eyes on that one, guys. Whom to bench? Eze, Gakpo, Solanke. I would bench Eze out of those 3. Southampton at home is still an easy clean sheet even without Jacques, in my opinion. Matt, I'm of a similar kind of thinking, and that's why I think that Gabriel. But the thing is, if Gabriel doesn't keep a clean sheet, he's a waste of a pick, and that's what I worry about because Arsenal's defense hasn't been that secured, and I worry about Rob holding that L in defense. That's what I'll say. But currently, I do have Gabriel. We all need to know on Jesus, bro. Hi, yeah, I'm waiting on early team news as well. But look, I'll put it this way. I'm fine with this team. So let's just say the server crashes. I'm fine with this team. If this is the locked-in team, I'm okay with it. Are you sticking with Tony? I think Jesus may have a better chance of clean sheets. Ryan. If we do get news that Jesus is starting, I probably will go Jesus over Tony and Castagna instead of Gabriel. But you guys can vote in chat still. So vote in chat, but I mean like 450 of you voted. So probably everyone's voted. But currently we're leading on 58% saying Jesus and Castagna, which I think that's my current. I think it's super close for me as well. Would you do -4 to go with the 11-10 options? I don't think I'd. Who's your? Yeah, actually. So you're taking it's a -2. So it's a -2. But who are you taking out? Just make sure that the player you're taking out doesn't have a double game week. The reason I don't like Eze, and I would say go for a Liverpool asset maybe. If you can do another -4, is they have doubles coming up. So if you guys don't know the doubles, I'll bring them up on screen. Just give me a second here. I'm just going to bring up Ben Krellen's planner. So I don't know if you guys can see this. Let me just check. Okay, you guys can see this. You guys just can't see game week 38. Okay, so on screen you can see that Brighton have a double in 34, a double in 36, and a very likely double in 37. Chelsea have a double in 37. Then we have Man City and United. But for example, you're going to eliminate the fact that Brighton have a double because they blanked this week. City have a double because they blanked this week. United have a double, they blanked this week. So if you want to take a punt, you can go for a West Ham option. They have a double in 34. You can look at your Liverpool assets. They have a double in 34 as well. Or you could look at someone like a Fulham asset, but they have Man City and Liverpool, which isn't too great of a double. But a -4 for those players might be more sensible because you're getting a double game week coming up. So an Andres Pereira, for example, instead of going for Eze, if you want to go for Andres Pereira, I could back that because he has a double game week coming up where you will get those 2 points back in appearance points, hopefully, instead of an Eze. So what you're saying there is if you're taking out a blank game week option, you bring in Andres Pereira for -4. Because he has a fixture this week, 2 appearance points, theoretically. Double game week 34, 2 appearance points, theoretically. That's 4 points. Your hit's already paid off. So that's the only reason why a -4 for a hit for a double game week player or a captain is better. But I think that Eze is fine. Crystal Palace are nice figures coming up anyways as well. What to do if Saka's benched? Go for Odegaard then. I would just simply swap Odegaard in. Prek is pretty reliable. Okay. Rob ain't holding, man. Okay, did I make a mistake on that centre-back pairing? That's a little bit embarrassing if I did. I do apologize. I think he's Rob Holding though. But maybe I've just butchered that. Okay, no other early team news, but I'll check. Because we are reaching that 15-minute point where it is a bit rough. Because I would like to lock my team in with about 10 minutes to go. So that is going to be a bit hard if we don't get early team news by 15 minutes. Davey, if you have to take out Saka and get Jesus in, who would you pick in? If you have to take out Saka, if you take Saka out and get Jesus, I'd bring Jesus in for Tony, and I'd take Saka out for probably Eze. That's what I'd probably do. But if Saka's out, what I might just do then is I might just go for Odegaard, as I've mentioned. But as you've said, you want to go for Jesus in the forward line. If you want to still keep Gabriel, then I would go for Madison or Eze from your squad. So Tarang, if Saka's out and you want to bring in Jesus, I'd go Tony to Jesus and Saka to Eze. Our wildcard next week, says Lionel. Okay, yeah. So it's tough. Would you do a -4? So do you think Eze scores 4 points this week? Where are you in the over ranks? Do you want to take a punch, Lionel? Like, because if you're happy with your rank, I might just stick put. You didn't butcher it. Okay, holy butter, thank you. You had me worried there. Rob ain't holding. So yeah, hopefully he's not holding an L. Kane or Solanke scores most this week. So Kane or Solanke, out of those two, Chris, who do you think? Kane or Solanke, which one? Watkins or Solanke aside Jesus? I'm going 5 in midfield. I'm Watkins then. I would definitely go Watkins. He's on good form. Andy Hutch, how's it, Davey? Feel confident this week? No worries about no Kane. I'm feeling quietly confident. I'm actually pretty pumped about a free hit this week. I think it's exciting. I don't have triple Arsenal. I don't have triple Liverpool on my current team. So owning those assets should hopefully be quite exciting. I'm 230k. I might take the punt. I might just go for Eze then, Lionel. What if both Saka and Jesus are out? So if both Saka and Jesus are out, we just take Saka to Odegaard. That's it. We leave the team then. That's because we only own one of them in my current team. Would you take Jota or Kane on the free hit? I'd take Jota, Vernon. But on a free hit, I would probably just go for Solanke, Watkins, Tony, or Jesus, and just go for Gakpo instead of Jota, or just go for Harry Kane. But because you've asked me Jota or Kane, it means you have an open Liverpool spot. So if you want to fulfill that spot, I'll definitely go for Jota. But otherwise, get a triple Liverpool somewhere elsewhere. Davey, I don't own the free hit. I have 2 free transfers okay for transferring Kane to Solanke. No, keep Kane. Keep Harry Kane. Rashford over Salah. I have so much concerns. If you want to take out Kane to afford Salah, I would do it. Sadiq, you want to captain Salah as well. Show your final team. This is my final team currently. I'm waiting for early team news. Don't worry. Quick question, everyone. If you have a minus, then play free hit. Does your points? Yes, it does, Mark. So a wild card and a free hit, if you're currently on a minus 30, as soon as you activate the free hit and the wild card, your hits get taken away. The only thing about the free hit is obviously you're going to revert back to your team that you had in Game Week 31, though. Just remember that in Game Week 33. No Salah top this week with him as captain. No Salah top this week. Yeah, Salah's top this week for captain. Any news? 15 minutes to go. Let's refresh. $15 minutes to go. Okay, so we got nothing with 15 minutes to go, and that means we might have to go with, we might have to stretch this to 10 minutes to go, but this is currently the team. Any news? No team news. Rafa, did you hear anything? Why Gabriel over White? Umar, it's a 50-50 there. I just back maybe Gabriel off a set piece. Why do you ask me to post your team so you can look over quickly and then you don't do it? Oh, did you post it in the Discord or did you post it? Because I looked up for your team in the chat, but I didn't see you posted it. Did you post it in the Discord? Because I don't see it, Ole, at the current moment. And I've looked through the chat. I swear I looked for your message. The only chat I have here is your last message. You see my team is in shambles. Just check that the message went through. Yes, Devin Little, very much. Oh no, not in Discord. Sorry. Do I have the time? Yeah, post. Oh no, post your team like in the. If you post it on the Discord, I might be able to find it, but it might be a bit harder to find. Yeah, so just post it in chat. That's what I thought you did, but I can't see your message, so maybe it got deleted. Sako Gakpo in place of Fernandes. I have 9 starters or roll over transfers. I think I'd probably just roll Fernandes this week, unless Rajat, like, do you want to do any future moves? Do you have Salah in your team? Because if you have Salah, then you could do it. Your Salah t-shirt, bro, the one you sometimes wear, thought you might wear it as you don't have one, as you don't have him in your normal team. Neither luck. So Andy, I'm trying to remember if it was actually good luck or not. Because, like, I swear it was actually bad luck the one time. So that's what I wasn't. That's what I was a little bit unconfident about, or not confident about. Oh yes, you must post it in pure chat, Ole. Just post it in. Just type it out. That's what I meant. Sorry, it's gonna delete links. Sorry for that. Who's the best differential captain this week? Needs some points badly. I would go with Martinelli probably. Martinelli or Jesus. Otherwise, what you could do is if you think Gakpo or Jota scores more points than Salah, you can still go for those assets, because then you're still getting the same fixture, but you're almost nullifying that risk of Liverpool banging and you're not getting any points. Morning wish to Salah, then Davey out. I remember that one. Post team, says Jug Singh. So I'll post the team. I was really hoping for some early team news at the current moment, but I don't know if we're going to be getting it. So yeah, I don't think we're going to get early team news. So I'll post the team at 20 past. But this is the current team, Jag Singh. So like if you're on the stream, unless we get early team news, I'm going to be sticking with this, I think. Jota / Gay or Robbo / Isaac. Yeah, that one's close. I'd probably say Jota Gay because I favor the attack. Let's hope you're right this week, my guy. If he doesn't bang, we'll know why. That's true. But I think Salah should be pretty highly captain this week. Best West Ham asset and Eze over Saka. I'd keep Saka over Eze and I would go for Bowen. Is Maddison over Martelly a bad shot? I'd probably go for Martelly. I like Martelly. He's the second best attacker from a stats point of view. Guys, don't do panic transfers now, says Marco. Wise words that hopefully I don't come back to regret, because I might do them, to be honest. Let's see. Any early team news here? I don't see anything at the current moment. Okay, so this will be like the final team, I think, unless we get news that Jesus starts. So I'm just going to post this on the Discord. Okay, wait, actually, let's fix the bench. I forgot about that. Okay, so let's just change the bench a bit. So instead of Andreas, I'm going to go Eze. I like the defensive pairing. Instead of Guaita, I could go for a more expensive goalkeeper, I guess. But I think it's fine for now. Okay, so it's just the one move. It's going to be Andreas out for Eze, and that's just going to be our first bench option. So it's not the end of the world if that transfer is not the most in the world. So let me just refresh, and now I can just post the team, actually. Okay, let me bring up the chat in case we get early. Quite sure there will be news. Wait, that's what I think. But I think that what I'm going to do now is I'm going to post a team. And then if we get early team news, I can't do anything. Okay, so that's been posted. So what I will say is get those transfer pages up, guys, because we might be making changes if we get early team news. But currently, I think that this will be the team we look at. Okay, so I've posted that, and we have 9 minutes to go. So apparently Zinchenko starts. What's the team if Jesus starts? If Jesus starts, it's Castagne in for Gabriel, and it's Tony out for Jesus. Okay, so you said Zinchenko starts. Okay, so make sure that you don't check FPL Boona's team news, because he's posted some fake team news. So just make sure that you're not following that one. But otherwise, I don't see any early team news over on Twitter, but I might be wrong. If you see anything, tag me in it. Okay, so what we'll do though is I think the overall structure is fine. What we'll just go is we'll do the transfer page. What I'm probably going to do then is I'm going to say Tony out for Jesus, but I'm going to not do the move, if you know what I'm not going to lock it in. But in case we have to do it quite quickly. And then instead of Gabriel, we'll just do Shaw. Because I mean, what else? There's not many other players to get in. So I'm not going to lock this in though. I'm just having this here in case we do get it. We do get early team news, like with a minute to go or something. But I don't see anything. With 7 minutes to go, I see nothing concrete. So we can bring it back to the questions then. Okay. Jesus, Saka, and Martelli start apparently. Okay, did he say that? Did Andy say that they all are playing, or they're all expected to play? Who's FPL South? Trustworthy or not? Okay, if Jesus starts, then I think we make the switch. Yeah, if it's from Andy, then I mean he was right about Saka, so. Why Solanke instead of Tony? I think he's a cheeky punt and differential. Is that your ringtone in the background? No, it's my background music. Pretty good ringtone though. Yeah, it's annoying. So if Andy said that, that probably means that he does. It's just like there's been no tweet. Current squad: Raya, Trippier, Botman, Estupinan, Henry, Saka, Matoma, March. 2 for Johns, no free at 1 to make productive transfers. Yeah, I would try to get Salah in. So I would probably do. Could you have enough to do Bruno in? Bruno Fernandes to Salah. That's what I would try and do. Otherwise, the team looks fine, and I would try and... I've got 2 free transfers. I would do a defensive transfer then. I would probably take out Henry for, like, one of the cheapies. And now many sources say the same. Best over Saka. Okay, so... I just don't see any tweets, unfortunately, and that's the thing about it. Okay, yeah, then I think we go for Jesus then, right? Yeah, okay, so if Jesus starts, then I think we do this move. Okay, so I'm going to do the transfer. Okay, so I'm going to do this transfer, and then we can... yeah, confirm the transfer, and then I'm going to sub in Castagne for Shaw. And then that's going to be the team. Okay, so that's the team now. Unless we do get other early team news. But I doubt we will. So I've switched it up. I've gone a little bit different, but it's like semi the same. I just want to post this over on Discord. And just try and refresh Twitter if we do get it. So with 3 minutes to go, we have done that switch. So hopefully you guys have enough time to confirm that. And then I don't see anything. You forgot to captain. No, I'm not going to captain Jesus. I'm going to captain. I'm going to captain Salah. An upgrade for Guita. I'll just have him here in case Johnson doesn't play. Solanke to Tony. I could do that move. Odegaard going to destroy us. I mean, we can't have everyone, I guess. I'm not sure about Gakpo playing. I think Gakpo is like my punt, I guess. And I guess Solanke is also a bit of a punt. But Tony's definitely a fine option to go for. But yeah, I don't... we've had like no concrete team news. Unless like it has been over. Go Solanke to Tony. Now everyone's asking... Everyone's telling me to do Solanke to Tony. I think I'm gonna roll with Solanke though. Better with a Villa defender over Leicester defender. Yeah, I don't know. I guess it's probably makes sense for my team because I don't have Ivan Toney. But I like the Castagne punt. I just feel like he has a quite a high ceiling if Leicester do keep the clean sheet, especially at that wing back position. Yeah, guys, it's a 50-50. If you guys want to go Ivan Toney, I can back it. But my team is probably locked in. I don't see any other early team news here. It looks like we're not going to get anything over on Twitter. Yeah, I miss the changes from FPL Rockstar, but it doesn't seem like we're going to get them. Nothing as of yet. So I mean, I expect the early team news was that Jesus, Martinelli, and Saka all start. So that's why I've done the switch from Gabriel out, because I think that Jesus is a great asset, and that's why I've done it. Cheers, Dave. You have a great weekend. Thanks, Akil. Yes, time is up. At least you guys are proper on the timing restraints. But Joe, that was a little bit of a tough one at the end. I do apologize for that one. We were waiting for early team news. We didn't get it, but it's not the end of the world. That guy's a troll. Okay, but I'm hoping that Jesus does start, because otherwise it's not going to look too great. So what are we kind of hoping for then? That maybe Jesus doesn't keep a clean sheet? Maybe. But currently we're going to be on that. So this is the actual fiat that was locked in. I know that we were contemplating going for the Tony instead of Jesus and then Gabriel, but we've gone for Castagne and Jesus, and I think that that should hopefully do quite well. I think the ceiling's quite high in that pairing. And as mentioned, 60% of you guys did vote for that. So we're going to go with your guys' opinions. It wasn't the most kind of out there poll, not kind of an 80-20, but you guys voted for it 60-40. So that's what we went for. And as always, thank you for joining me on this Friday night. The Friday night stream's a little bit different, a little bit more chill. Maybe not this week because of the kind of stress at the end, but I'm just hoping that it's going to be a good game week for us. And hopefully come game week 33, we're looking at a lovely green arrow closer to the top 100k, and hopefully this fiat is going to get us that one step closer. Have a safe weekend though. Hopefully the football's good, the green arrow is going to be good, and I'm going to say off, Dave FPL, and I'm out. Cheers, bye.